How you guys doing? Jason A. Kuhn here, giving you a Fight the Deception with Real Perception Christian news brief for October 11th, 2013. Got a lot of news. We'll jump into it real quick here at RT.com. Syria extremists financed by private Gulf donors carried out mass killings. At least 190 people were killed and more than 200 taken hostage by Syrian rebels financed by private Gulf donors in an August 4th military offensive in the Latakia governorate, according to a Human Rights Watch report. At least 67 of the victims executed had lived in government-aligned Alawite villages. HRW said in its report, "You can still see their blood," released on Friday, which saw the events as the first evidence of planned crimes against humanity perpetrated by opposition forces. The killings took place when President Bashar al-Assad's forces were overwhelmed by the militants, who then proceeded to enter the 10 Alawite villages nearby, sometimes rounding up and executing entire families while taking others hostage. Torture and decapitations were also testament to the aggravated nature of the military offense, proof of which was gathered by HRW through reports, witness statements, hospital records, and materials recorded by the rebels themselves. There you go. Latest news out of Syria, brought to you by U.S. paid tax dollars. Let's keep it RT.com. Foreigners train Syrian rebels in Afghanistan to use chemical weapons, says Lavrov. There are reports that some third countries are training Syrian rebels to use chemical weapons in Afghanistan. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said the intention is to put the skill to use in new false flags actions in Syria, he explained. The suspected training happened in Afghan territories not under control of the government in Kabul, Lavrov said. Some reports indicate that Al-Qaeda-linked Radical Al-Nusra Front is planning to smuggle toxic compounds and relevant specialists into Iraqi territory to stage terrorist attacks there is this time, Lavrov said. The Russian minister, who spoke after meeting his Kuwaiti counterpart, Mohammed Sabib al-Salam al-Sabah, warned against any possible provocations in Syria related to the ongoing process of its chemical weapons disarmament. Wow, there you go. Let's move on. ChristianPost.com. Killing Christians is the way to martyrdom, the shocking message being taught in Pakistani schools. Some schools' textbook in Pakistan include lessons teaching students that killing Christians is a goal that must be achieved for them to obtain martyrdom, according to a report prepared by Middle East Media Research Institute. The report also included claims that Islamist groups in Pakistan are launching regular attacks against non-Muslim Pakistanis, as well as some sects of Muslims such as Shiites and Ahmadi, whom they do not consider to be real Muslims. The report states that official and independent media, government leaders, and religious scholars have legitimized hate against religious minorities, with the term minority itself having come to be seen as a pejorative context. As a result of such legitimization of hate through school textbooks, government policies, sermons in mosques, and religious congregations, there is growing persecution of Pakistani Christians, Hindus, Shias, and Ahmadi Muslims, the report said. Let's move on to PressTV.ir. Israeli Jews vandalized Christian graves in Al-Quds. Israeli youth have attacked the Christian cemeteries and church properties in the occupied Al-Quds, Jerusalem. Israeli settlers attacked 2 Protestant cemeteries in the occupied Palestinian territories this week and vandalized a number of tombstones. On Sunday, Israeli settlers attacked the Protestant cemetery of Mount Zion that is mainly considered as a historic location. The attackers vandalized tombstones of figures from the 19th and 20th centuries who played an important role in the history of Al-Quds. The move has angered Christian leaders in Al-Quds. Let's move on. PressTV.ir. North Korea slams South, U.S., Japan war games. North Korea has slammed the 3-nation naval drills involving U.S., South Korean, and Japanese warships, threatening to bury in the sea a U.S. aircraft. Give this a listen.
North Korea has threatened to target a U.S. aircraft carrier during a 3-nation naval drill involving America, South Korea, and Japanese warships. The latest warning comes a day after the U.S. launched a 2-day joint military exercise with South Korea and Japan off the southern coast of the Korean peninsula. The drill involved the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS George Washington guided missile ships and anti-submarine helicopters. Pyongyang has time and again condemned such maneuvers near its border and threatened action. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has described the latest drill as a pretext to beef up military muscles in the region. Lavrov also urged the resumption of the Six-Nation talks on North Korea's nuclear issue. North Korea's...
There you go. Let's move on. MrConservative.com. Disgusting. Cops target special needs kids in undercover drug sting. No matter your view on the endless war on drugs, you will be shocked and disgusted by this story about an undercover cop sting or drug sting that Riverside County cops ran at a high school in Temecula, California, one of the safest towns in America. What made this sting different from all other stings is the fact that the cops targeted special needs students with autism, learning disabilities, and etc. Wow. If you want to read this full article, go to MrConservative.com. We'll move on. NewYorkTimes.com. Power grid is attacked in Arkansas. The federal authorities are investigating whether 3 recent attacks against the power grid in Arkansas are linked, and utility officials have asked residents to remain on alert to the threat of more trouble. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said that 2 power poles in Lonoke County, just east of Little Rock, were deliberately severed early on Sunday. The authorities said that a stolen tractor, which had an expandable arm with a circular saw blade at its tip, was used to take down one of the poles. The incident came more than 6 weeks after the FBI opened an inquiry into a report of Entergy Arkansas, a utility company, that one of its high-voltage transmission lines had been brought down in Lonoke County. Investigators said someone had fastened a cable to the 100-foot transmission tower and laid it across a nearby railroad track in what the FBI described as an attempt to utilize a moving train to bring down the tower. Wow. And this is coming up on the national November 13th and 14th power grid shutdown as a so-called government test. Let's move on. Infowars.com by Paul Joseph Watson. TSA loudspeakers threaten travelers with arrest for joking about security. Travelers who crack jokes about the TSA's ludicrous security procedures could face arrest, according to a new loudspeaker warning being broadcast at airports in the U.S. Let's give this a listen.
Pay particular attention to your luggage and personal belongings. Unattended luggage will, and personal belongings may be treated as a danger to the facility. Do not be persuaded by strangers or individuals you do not know well to take articles aboard your flight. You are also reminded that any inappropriate remarks or jokes concerning security may result in your arrest. We appreciate your cooperation while these measures are in effect.
There it is.
Excuse me?
There it is.
Can you say martial law? Can you say police state?
Pay particular attention to your luggage.
Let's move on. GunsandFreedom.com. Armed citizens thwarts robbery at North Carolina bank using gun from his wife's purse. The anti-gun crowd doesn't think stories like this actually happen, but the fact of the matter is gun owners stop crime and save lives so often that we are unable to report every incident. In this case, a criminal trying to use a stun gun to rob a bank customer outside of Concord, North Carolina bank was in for a shock of his life when an armed gun owner intervened. 36-year-old Gary Spencer was sitting in a bank parking lot, and little did he know what he was about to witness: a crime. Spencer had just dropped off his son at school and was waiting for his wife to deposit a check at the Wells Fargo Bank in Concord, North Carolina. After a minute, Spencer said he saw what looked like a skinny white man and a stocky black man wrestling, but he thought nothing of it because it looked like they were faking wrestling and horsing around. But when he heard a loud zapping sound, he looked closer and seen that the 2 men were fighting over a red money bag. A stun gun-carrying criminal had just forced a victim to withdraw $5,000 from his bank account, and when the two had exited the bank, the victim was attacked with a stun gun. Wow, according to the IndependentTribune.com, Spencer took quick action and used his wife's gun to stop the crime. If you want to read the rest of this article and exactly what happened, go to gunsandfreedom.com. Of course, it'll be linked in the YouTube description box. Let's move on to blaze.com. Death Panels 101, chilling high school assignment makes students decide who lives and who dies. A group of high school freshmen in Illinois were reportedly required to determine who lived and who would die in a chilling class assignment that school officials say was nothing more than a lesson in school bias. However, critics argue it sounded more like a lesson in death panels. The assignment, reportedly administered by sociology unit at St. Joseph Ogden High School, involved a fictional group of 10 individuals who are all desperate need of kidney dialysis. If they don't get the treatment, they will die, the lesson reads. But there is a problem, Fox News told Stames' report. The local hospital only has enough machines to support 6 patients. The next part of the assignment is downright haunting. That means 4 people are going to live. You must decide from the information below which 6 will survive, it states. You want to read the rest of this and see the full assignment, go to theblaze.com. Let's move on. The last article is worldtruth.tv, 15 deadliest corporations. These corporations, if they were individual human beings, would be locked up for life. Instead, they continue raking in the big bucks. Human rights abuses, murder, war, eco-disasters, and animal exploitation keep these evil companies raking in the green. Prepare to be disgusted. Now this article is very massive, so I suggest you want to read the full article. Go to worldtruth.tv, and of course it will be linked in the YouTube description box, but we'll go through the list of 15. Number 1, Chevron. Number 2, De Beers. Number 3, Tyson. Number 4, Smith & Wesson. Number 5, Philip Morris. Number 6, Halliburton. Number 7, Coca-Cola. Number 8, Pfizer. Number 9, ExxonMobil. Number 10, Caterpillar Company. Number 11, Ringley Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. Number 12, Monsanto. Number 13, Nestle. Number 14, British Petroleum. And number 15, Dynacorp. That's all the articles and news I got for you today. Let me give you my New World Order quote of the day by Henry Kissinger from the Bilderberg Conference in Amiens, France, 1991. Today, America would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told that there was an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated, that threatened our very existence. It is then that all peoples of the world will plead to deliver them from us this evil. The one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being granted to them by the world government. Again, Henry Kissinger, 1991. Now that's it I got for you today. We'll go back and leave you with the song I brought you in on by Disciple, whether they like it or not.